Yo, what's up, Beck? Right now I'm doing, user experience by trade, but a lot of my portfolio is just like typical graphic design and branding stuff. So
yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, like, what you did, or if you have any input.
Communicate them in a way that made them seem relevant, and kind of try to find the overlap across those fields.
Thanks. Bye. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. It's been a little while. I know. I'm sorry, but I'm back at it once again. My name's Austin Beck. I'm an architectural designer. Just got off the phone with two of my good friends, Katie and Mitch. Katie is an industrial designer and now actually industrial and UX UI designer, and Mitch is a graphic UX UI designer as well. Actually, if you haven't checked it out, go check out the most recent episode of Design Daily. Mitch was my guest on that. It was a great conversation, and you should definitely go check it out if you're interested in graphic or UX UI design. But I wanted to reach out to them specifically because both of them have worked in specific types of creative agencies, as well as been able to sort of shift their roles and positions at different places already. So I just wanted to reach out and get their thoughts and ideas on how I can best present myself to similar types of agencies. Now, these places are not architecture firms. They're more in the marketing, graphic design, branding, video production, digital space. Due to COVID, not that many architecture firms are hiring. Doesn't mean there aren't any, but it's very limited number. And so with my job search, I'm really needing to broaden the search to some other creative fields, creative agencies, and really be open to other opportunities. But these agencies are actually really intriguing to me. Most of them are all multidisciplinary, with designers and creatives from all different fields working at one place, and they're really doing work that I'm finding really interesting right now, pursuing the podcast and YouTube. And so I'm honestly excited just to see like what happens. So in talking to Katie and Mitch, there are basically two things that I need to do if I want to be competitive when applying to these creative agencies. And the first thing that I'm going to need to do is build a website. Since most of the work these creative agencies do is digital, I need my work to be in a digital space as well. And the second thing I'll need to do is make it very clear that the skills I currently possess are relatable to the skills required for that job. Now, obviously, that's important when you're applying to any job, but it's particularly important when you're moving from one design field, like I am in architecture and worked in architecture, to a different field, even if it's in relatively the same space, in creative space or design space. It is a different field, and so I need to really show that the skills that I have gained in college and in working are transferable in certain ways to the skills required for that job. And there's really three ways that I can show this, and I plan on doing so. The first is showing that the skills I have are transferable and relatable are going to be, one, through the website that I make. And it's going to be not quite as explicit in their faces, but just through how it's designed, through the work I have up there, it should be expressed that I possess certain skills that can relate to that job. And the second way I'll be able to show them that the skills I possess can relate to the job is going to be through the cover letter that I send when applying. And so in the cover letter, it's going to be more explicit in me telling them that I've done these certain things, I've gained these certain skills, and then this is how, XYZ, this is how it can relate to the skills required for this job. And so that's going to be super important in really showing them and telling them like, hey, I can do this and it's valuable in this way. And if I do get the opportunity for an interview, the interview is the third way in which I can show them and tell them directly that the skills I possess will relate and transfer in these certain ways and are valuable to them. All right, so let's get working on this website. The first thing that I'm gonna need to do is watch a bunch of YouTube videos and like LinkedIn Learning on how to code, because I don't know how to code, so I don't know how to build a website. So let's get to it. So I spent the first few hours, as I mentioned, browsing and just trying to figure out how to make a website, how to code. It was a complete joke. I didn't spend the first few hours doing that. I wasn't going to sit there and be like coding like, or whatever, HTML, Java, Python, all those things that I don't know what they mean. But no, seriously, just looked up different platforms. There's lots of platforms. There's Squarespace, Wix, Weebly, WordPress, Cargo, like tons of others. And so I just spent the first couple hours looking up different platforms, looking at their templates, checking the price points, and just sort of comparing and finding some templates that I liked. So after browsing different templates and platforms, I decided to narrow it down between two. It was narrowed down between Squarespace and Wix. And I decided to go with Squarespace. It had a couple more templates that I liked than Wix, and one in particular that I really liked. But also the thing that really differentiated it between Squarespace and Wix was that you could say one's more structured and one is less structured. So a little more structure to Squarespace and where things can be placed. And I thought that having that constraint, having that structure to the site would be beneficial for me, having not made a website before. And so it's been a week and a half since I started browsing the platforms, looking at templates, and began working on the website. And I can now say I'm finally done with it. And something I actually forgot to mention earlier was that I think having a website won't just help me be more marketable to these creative agencies that I'm applying to, but also to architecture firms as well. With architecture, you usually send your portfolio or work samples as a PDF in your resume. That's kind of typical. And just with what I've been doing lately with the podcast, with YouTube, making videos, it's just not possible to show that work in a PDF, and nor is it really appropriate for it to be in the same file, in my opinion, to send that when applying. So having the website, though, allows them to be on the same platform, be easily accessible in one place, but they also still have their separate spaces and they live on different pages on the site. So I really think it's the best option and best way for me to do it, and to be able to show all the work that I've been doing also to architecture firms or wherever I'm applying to. With that, go check out my new website, austinbeck.co. That's AUSTINBECK.co. Yeah, let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below if you checked out the website. Also, if anyone out there is an SEO guru, hit me up, because right now, if you type in Austin Beck, this Oakland A's baseball player comes up, and I'm not cool with that. Somehow I need some help with getting, when you type Austin Beck, I want to be the first person that pops up on the top of Google. So if you know about SEO and helping me with the website and that, hit me up. Love to have a conversation. Love to figure that out. Anyways, thank you. Thank you everyone for supporting. Talk to you later.